welcome back to Nookworm. That's this channel. I am Riley. I didn't say it in my last video, sorry. But you know now. Today we're talking about Patron Saints of Nothing, which is a book. I believe it came out in 2019. It's by Randy Ribay. I believe I'm saying his name right. I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. That's it. That's the end of the review. Bye. No, just kidding. No, today we have peppermint tea, my rainbow mug, a classic, and we're talking about this honestly really wonderful novel. I will very quickly summarize this novel for you guys. No, I'm not going to summarize it, but give you the back blurb. It's about this 17-year-old guy named Jay. He's Filipino. He's Filipino-American because he was born in the Philippines and he moved when he was like 1, I think. And it's this really beautiful kind of story of him reconnecting with his family in the Philippines and coming to terms with some of that side of his identity that he hasn't really explored very much at this kind of seminal time in his life. So it was really interesting. I listened to the audiobook version, which was great. It's narrated by Ramon D. Ocampo. He did a fantastic job. And this book is like, what happens very early on, no spoilers, is Jay has a cousin who he's kept in touch with who lives in the Philippines, and this tragedy happens, and the rest of the book is kind of this this reaction to that tragedy. And well, it's just like a really nice exploration of diaspora, right? And of like people who have family that, across continents and all this stuff. And I am a very white Canadian boy who doesn't know about a lot of that stuff personally. I know some people who are in those situations. And I think one thing this book was able to do was put me in the shoes of someone who would be in that situation in a very effective way without feeling like pandering or like simplifying too much or anything like that. But it was all told in a first-person narrative, which I'm not usually as big of a fan of, but in this case it really helped me get into the shoes of Jay, our main character, and really see things from his perspective, and in turn understand the perspectives of his family members who hold different worldviews than him. So yeah, that was just really well done. There's kind of this underlying mystery in this book of what's going on with Jay's cousin and things his family in the Philippines is hiding and things like that, and his family back at home as well. And throughout all these family members that he has that you meet, the characterization of these people is done in such a way that is like, they seem very different at first when you first meet them. When you first meet them from somebody, say, who lives in North America, and then as you get to know them, you get to see all their different nuances and perspectives and the little facets to them, and it's just really well done in that way. Even the side characters that you don't get to see as much of are really well fleshed out, and like you get to all the little things they say and don't say and how they react to different situations are all left in there, and kind of the juice that the rest of the story is marinating in, and it's just brings out all the different facets and complications, because this is a modern story about the Philippines, and there's all this commentary and different perspectives on President Duterte and the war on drugs and things like that. And they very much stayed away from that, like, from taking a very one-sided perspective on it. They did a great job of introducing a lot of different sides of the argument, or of the many different arguments that are going on there, and made it very personal for a lot of the characters as well. So that was all really well done. I listened to the audiobook. I thought Ramon Diocampo did a really good job narrating. He's got a voice that's like really nice. Obviously, he's an audiobook narrator, but also it's not so old that he can't voice this young 17-year-old character, but it's not so young that he can't voice some of the older characters in the book. And he's just got a lot of like range, I guess. And I really love audiobooks, and I really thought I'm like, yes, I love audiobooks just for their ease and things like that. But this is one of those cases where the audiobook performance really increased, like, and amped up the level of like authenticity, and just it felt more real with someone reading it to me, because it's from this perspective that I don't really have. And so it was just one step further into taking me into the world being read by Ramon Diocampo, who is a person from the Philippines. So that was really well done. I would highly suggest the audiobook. Yeah. In short, basically, the thing I like most about this is that I learned something, because I don't know what to do with my teeth. I know a little bit about the stuff going on in the Philippines, but it's just so different to take a narrative look at it, because you get such a personal perspective. And you can tell Randy Ribay, who wrote the book, he's from the Philippines, and he has a very like innate kind of understanding of a lot of the issues going on there, and you get to see a lot of that in this book. So I mean, all books teach you something, I think, but this is something that is very relevant to today's times. Duterte is still in power as of this video in 2021. He probably will be until, I think, 2022 or something. I think they have a 6-year term there, and he might be there beyond that. I don't know. But this is a book that rings really true reading it. I think it reads as more authentic if you read it this year or next year than it will in 2030 when Duterte is not in power, and these things are more an interesting piece of the past than a current event. So in that way, I was very interested to learn in a more kind of concrete sense about some of the stuff that's going on over there. I mean, I can't speak to the validity of, or like, these are very complicated situations and stuff, so it can be tough for me to know what's true or not. I'm kind of taking the author's word for it, which I'm fine with doing. It seemed like a very balanced perspective, but feel free to let me know in the comments if this book is some terrible representation of what's going on in the Philippines or something. It doesn't seem that way from what I've done a little bit of research into, but you never know. Yeah, other than that, let's see what time we're at. Perfect. Commenters told me to make this video 10 minutes long, so it's gonna be 10 minutes long. It's gonna be great. Yeah, anyways, I would highly recommend this book. I should do some sort of thing for the thumbnail, right? Like, use one of those You gotta make good thumbnails. You know, I only had boring photos to choose from in my last thumbnail photo, and I was just gonna make a note of that for later. So, yeah, I'm thinking ahead now. My tea's not quite done, so the video can't end until the tea's done. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for watching. Nookworm, that's this channel. You are you, and I appreciate you being here. And, you know, I'm really enjoying that you're enjoying the videos. Hopefully the production value only goes up. Keep making suggestions in the comments. Helps a lot. I'm complete and utter noob, but I do like books, and I do like YouTube communities, and I certainly like the booktube / bookstagram communities, so I'm happy to be here. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Maybe you won't come back, I don't know, but come back. Did you like the dragon at the end of the last video? I'll probably put him in again, so here you go. Ta-da.